how to go from this to this. Hello and welcome. I've been playing Timberborn since it was first released in early access, and I have about 1,000 hours in the game. The first real mega build that I created was on Twitch during the Season 3 playthrough, and this was the result. As you can see, it is pretty massive. Since then, I have done a handful of mega builds, including 2 popular time-lapse videos on my YouTube channel. I've been asked quite a few times, how do you plan for these builds? The answer is, I don't. Thank you for watching my video. Please hit the like button if you're not yet. I'm just kidding. Let's go through my general process of mega building. So, first I usually start out with a broad idea of what I wanted to make. For example, I knew I wanted to make a huge dam and with housing connected into it, and that ended up being Mammoth Mill Dam. I also had an idea of making a pyramid-like structure, and that ended up being the Archibald Cenotaph. So try to imagine a neat massive build, like a huge reservoir of water with a town on top, or a large terraced farm resembling rice fields. I then sketch it out on a piece of paper. I usually do a top-down view. I mark areas. This is where my housing is going to be. This is where we have food. This is where we have wood. This is where the industry area is. This is where the entertainment is. And then I go from there. In my time-lapse videos, I do an extra step, and that is I pick a title. What do I want to name this? And then I go and find a font that matches that title, and I play around with it in Photoshop. This gives me a general feeling of a theme of what the build is going to be, and that is a good starting point because then you have some sort of feeling that goes with the build. Now this is of course only usable if you're making videos, but I don't know, it helps me. So next up we gotta find a map that can accommodate our idea, and that is very difficult because there's a lot of maps out there, and some are like, oh, that could work, but then you look closer and it's like, nah, that doesn't quite fit the idea. Fortunately, we now have terraforming in the game, so we can basically modify the map while playing, and it will suit your build. So find a map that is close enough, probably not completely what you want it to look like, but you can modify that while building. The next step I take is I load the game, I click the map that I want to try out, and I go into developer mode. You can also use creative mode if you're a modded Timberborn build, but to unlock the developer mode, you can press Alt, Shift and Z simultaneously. I do want to warn you, use this cautiously. Don't do this in all your builds because it unlocks things that you can place beavers and golems. It might mess up your build that you don't want. So be aware of that. What the developer mode does is you can unlock and place all the buildings freely. So hold down Control and place a building and it's immediately built. You don't have to wait for beavers. You don't have to wait for resources. It is immediately done. This way you can try out parts of your build and you can look at it and it's like, does this present the same way as I had in mind, or does it not look great? If it doesn't look great, that's fine too. Scrap it, go back to the drawing board and start over. Play around with it. It doesn't really matter. Timberborn is a little bit like playing with Legos. All the blocks come in different shapes and sizes. Some can stack together, others don't. Some match nice together, some don't. Play around with it and see what works for your build. Make sure you include a general idea of how you want to irrigate your land if you have tons of farming areas, or you want to make everything look green or have trees scattered throughout your build. Make sure that you have the water flow in your build included. Same goes for the power grid, because that can mess up your build if you have to come up with it while you're in the game. Because sometimes that means you have to delete a whole stack of buildings because the power, you wanted it under the buildings and now you forgot about it, and that takes a lot of time. If you have tried this out in your developer mode and on your map and it looks like something great, that is awesome. That is your direction, your target of what you want to go for. And now you can start building it in a real playthrough. When you're playing and you are like, maybe I could do it a little bit different, that is fine. Don't get stuck on your initial idea if you come up with something better while you are playing. This is also what happened during our Season 3 playthrough on Twitch. We had an idea of wanting to cover all the water wheels with large metal platforms, but while we were playing and while we were designing that, we're like, why not cover the whole area with large metal platforms and get the food and wood production under all these platforms and build the city on top. And it came out pretty good. So make sure you allow yourself for changes during your playthrough. Now, not all builds will be a success and not all will look great in the end, but that's fine. It's a game. You can start over, throw your ones that didn't work in the garbage bin and, you know, start from scratch. I can't tell you what to make or what works and what doesn't work, but I hope this video gives you a general idea of my thought process and maybe it helps you out in coming up with an amazing build. If you do and you make an awesome mega build, please share it on my Discord server. I always love looking at other people's builds because this is an amazing game. So I hope this was informative. If it was, please hit the like button. If you are not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. As I said, I also stream on Twitch and we have a Discord server. Both of those links will be in the description. Thank you all for your time. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you all soon.